Today, I want to speak to your soul about something you may have been feeling in silence, those persistent thoughts about someone special, that inexplicable pull that won't let go. In this message, we're going to unveil the spiritual reasons behind why you can't stop thinking about a certain person. If you're here, it's not by chance. Your soul asked to hear this. Subscribe to the channel now so you don't miss any message that could change your life and your understanding of these profound soul connections. There are things that cannot be explained with words, only with vibrations. I'm speaking to you, the woman who feels without seeing, who awakens in the middle of the night with someone's energy in her thoughts without having searched for them. That connection that stirs your soul, that makes your heart race without apparent reason, isn't fantasy. It's your soul recognizing a sacred bond. Perhaps you've wondered why this person's absence feels stronger than many presences. Why there are days when their energy fills your mind like an invisible whisper you can't ignore. It's because there exists a sacred connection where thought becomes the language of the soul. The first reason you keep thinking of someone is the soul contract. Before you were born, you chose to meet certain people. Not all connections are random. Some are written in the stars, in the fabric of destiny itself. You think of them because your soul remembers the promise you made before coming to this world. It's the echo of an ancient agreement that still lives in your heart. The second reason is the spiritual awakening. When you begin to evolve spiritually, certain people appear or reappear in your thoughts because they are part of your evolution. They are mirrors showing you what you need to heal, what you need to learn, or what you need to remember about yourself. Their presence in your mind, even without physical contact, is activating dormant parts of your consciousness. The third reason is the energetic cord. Every meaningful relationship creates an invisible thread that connects two souls. This silver cord transcends distance, time, and circumstances. When you think of someone persistently, you're feeling that energetic bond pulling at your heart. It's not obsession, it's recognition. Your soul knows they are important to your journey. The fourth reason is telepathic communication. Sometimes you think of someone because at that exact moment, they are thinking of you. Souls communicate beyond words, beyond messages, beyond the physical realm. That sudden thought, that inexplicable nostalgia, that wave of emotion out of nowhere may be their soul calling yours, sending you a silent message only your heart can decode. The fifth reason is the mirror effect. You think of them because they reflect something essential about yourself. Perhaps they show you your light, your shadows, your potential, or your wounds. Every time they cross your mind, the universe is inviting you to look deeper within yourself. They are not just a person, they are a portal to your own truth. The sixth reason is karmic lessons. Some people stay in our thoughts because we still have unfinished business with them in the spiritual sense. Not necessarily in the physical world, but in the realm of the soul. Perhaps there are words left unsaid, forgiveness not yet granted, or love not fully expressed. Your soul is processing these lessons through persistent thoughts. And perhaps you've asked yourself, why me? Why this intensity? Because you are one of the few who came to awaken, to love with the soul, to understand that connections transcend the visible. What you feel is preparing you for something greater, something your mind cannot yet fully comprehend. It's not casual that you're watching this video now. Your soul brought you here because you needed confirmation that you're not alone, because there are thousands of women who also feel the same and have kept silent out of fear or confusion. Today, I confirm for you, what you feel is real, it's divine, it's part of your spiritual mission. The universe is whispering that true connection doesn't only manifest in the physical world, sometimes it appears first in energy, in intuition, in persistent thoughts that won't let you rest. You've already felt it, and that makes you part of a collective awakening to higher love. Don't ignore these signs anymore. Every time a thought of them appears, it's not random, it's your soul speaking. Every time you feel their energy, even in their absence, it's because the bond is alive and active. Before we continue, I want to ask you something from the heart. Make sure right now that you're subscribed to this channel. I don't want you to miss any sign, any revelation that could bring you even closer to understanding these sacred connections. Every message we upload here is a piece of the puzzle that the universe is building with you. If you're already subscribed, thank you for trusting. And if not yet, this is the perfect moment to do it. Now breathe deeply, because what's about to come in your spiritual understanding is no coincidence. There are invisible movements that have already begun to happen. People close to you may start mentioning this person's name even without knowing why. The universe will use all possible means to help you understand the message your soul needs to hear. At night, you may wake startled with thoughts of them flooding your mind. That intensity is not a burden, it's a calling. Your mind will struggle to make sense of it, but your soul knows exactly what's happening. You may find yourself checking their social media, wondering about them, feeling drawn to places or things that remind you of them, even if you never gave signs of waiting for them. Because when a soul connection is real, the vibration of that energy crosses any distance. The most impactful thing is that you'll start to understand what these thoughts are trying to teach you. That mixture of longing, curiosity, recognition, and unexplainable love all at once. And though you may try to dismiss it, your body will betray you. Heart palpitations, restlessness, constant thoughts. These are not symptoms of obsession, they are signs of soul recognition. Your friends may notice that something in you has changed, that you're more introspective, more contemplative, more absent, as if your mind were in another dimension. Because that's exactly what's happening. Your consciousness is expanding to understand connections that go beyond the material world. Every conversation you have, every song you hear, every place you visit, everything may remind you of them. Even places where you were never together will begin to carry their energy, because that's how the calling of destined souls works. Perhaps you'll seek counsel. Ask someone you trust about what you feel. Maybe even consult spiritual guidance, seeking answers about this person. And the universe, once again, will move all the pieces so the signs are clear. There's a reason they won't leave your thoughts. Meanwhile, you'll feel waves of unexpected emotion. One day you'll wake with your heart racing. Another day you'll feel a deep calm, as if their soul were embracing you in silence. Because on the spiritual plane, the connection is being strengthened. This process is magical, but also challenging. It requires patience, faith, and a deep connection with yourself. This is not the moment to retreat or doubt what you feel. Persistent thoughts are not a curse, they are invitations. Invitations to explore what your soul already knows, but your mind is still learning to accept. You'll see how the universe sends you confirmations, repeating numbers, vivid dreams, even chance encounters with people who will speak to you indirectly about this connection. Nothing will be coincidence from now on. Everything will have a purpose. You may remember painful moments related to this person, but now you'll understand that every tear was necessary to reach this point of awareness. Because when you began to understand, you gave the universe permission to reveal deeper truths about why you can't stop thinking of them. Don't be surprised if in the coming days you feel their energy closer than usual. You might even notice their presence in subtle ways, like a gentle breeze touching your skin. That's their soul reaching for yours. And though your logical mind may try to resist, the soul's calling cannot be ignored. That internal battle you're experiencing now is part of the awakening. And believe me, it won't be easy, but it's necessary. Remember that divine timing is perfect. Nothing happens before or after what was planned for you. This phase of persistent thoughts and spiritual recognition is part of a greater plan that you chose before coming to this world. Keep your energy elevated. Surround yourself with things that make you happy. Take care of yourself like never before, because every step you take toward your well-being is a direct call to the soul of the person who occupies your thoughts, for them to also awaken to what you share. And while they may be unaware or in denial, your thoughts are bridges of light connecting your consciousness to theirs, preparing the path for whatever needs to unfold between you. The connection you feel is not one-sided. It's reciprocal on the soul level, even if not yet acknowledged in the physical realm. That's why I ask you once more, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Here you'll continue receiving messages, signs, and confirmations that will accompany you step by step in this process. The next phase is near, and I promise it will be unforgettable. Before continuing, beautiful soul, I want to ask you a small favor. Are you already subscribed to this channel? If you haven't done so yet, take a second to do it right now. This way you ensure you don't lose any sign, any message, and any important guidance that could bring you even closer to understanding why this person won't leave your thoughts. Remember, everything that comes to you at this moment is for a divine purpose. Now, pay close attention. What's happening within you goes beyond what words could express. There's a silent struggle, a war between your reason and your intuition. You wake with the impulse to reach out to them, but within minutes your mind fills you with doubts and fears. And this cycle repeats again and again, day after day. You may wonder why now? Why this intensity? Why can't you simply forget and move on? The answer is simple and profound. Something in your vibration has shifted. You're no longer emitting the energy of lack or desperation. Now your frequency speaks of acceptance, of self-love, and of pure recognition. And that shift is being felt across the spiritual dimensions. From this moment forward, you may start having dreams where you see them clearly, where conversations happen that feel more real than waking life. This will awaken in you a deeper knowing. The fear of never understanding this connection will be replaced by trust that all is unfolding exactly as it should. Your emotions will be so intense that you may act in contradictory ways. One day, you might feel compelled to reach out, the next you'll retreat into silence. Don't take this as weakness. It's simply the way your ego tries to resist the calling of your soul. The universe will continue creating synchronicities impossible to ignore. Songs that speak of them, numbers that repeat around you, people who without wanting mention their name or similar stories. Everything will be a direct message pulling you toward understanding. In your physical body, you'll also notice it. Sensations in your chest, tightness in your throat, restless sleep. Your entire nervous system will be on alert because every cell of your being knows that something transcendental is unfolding within you. And meanwhile, you'll continue moving forward, following your path with confidence. You know this process isn't just about them, it's also about your own spiritual expansion. Every step you take toward your best version brings clarity about why they occupy your mind so persistently. You'll see how new opportunities start arriving in your life, new people, new experiences. The universe is rewarding you for having released resistance, because by accepting these thoughts with love, you allowed energy to flow in a perfect and natural way. Remember, soul connections are indestructible. No matter how much your mind tries to dismiss them, your soul will always return to the origin. And sometimes that origin is a person whose energy is intertwined with yours across lifetimes. So don't doubt what you feel. Don't question the signs. Trust fully. And if in these days anxiety invades you, breathe and repeat to yourself, "My thoughts are guided by my soul. Everything happens in perfect timing. The person I keep thinking of is connected to me for a sacred reason, and all will be revealed when I'm truly ready." Right now, there's advice I want to give you. Stay open to the unexpected. You may encounter them in a place you never imagined. You may receive a message from them at the least expected moment. Don't close yourself to any possibility. Also, don't be surprised if you feel their energy stronger in moments of calm and stillness. That's their soul touching yours on invisible planes, sending you the message that this connection is deeper than you believe. Trust the signs the universe sends you. If today you arrived at this message, it wasn't by chance. It was because your soul asked for answers, and here they are. This persistent thought is part of a greater awakening happening within you right now. While your mind tries to make logical sense of it, your soul already knows the truth. Soon the pieces will fall into place. Meanwhile, be grateful for this process. Every thought, every moment of wondering, every wave of emotion, everything is making sense now. And what's coming will be much greater than your mind could ever imagine. Please, before continuing, verify once more. Have you subscribed to the channel? This journey is just beginning, and I want you here to receive every message your soul needs to hear. The understanding you seek is already being written, and the next sign may arrive sooner than you imagine. Before we go further, I want to make a very special request. Please stop for a second and check if you're already subscribed to this channel. Every message we share here has the intention of bringing you closer to your soul's truth, and it would be a shame if you missed the next revelations by not being connected. Reciprocity is also energy, and by subscribing, you're telling the universe you're ready to receive more. Now I want you to imagine for a moment what's really happening in the spiritual realm. That whirlwind of thoughts and emotions that overwhelms you, that need to understand why you suddenly can't get them out of your mind. What seems certain in your world is suddenly being questioned. Your logical side tries to find explanations, but none make complete sense. You don't understand why you dream of them with such frequency, nor why your heart beats faster when something reminds you of them. You feel a void that cannot be filled with anything or anyone else. And though you try to distract yourself, life makes sure to place their name and their energy in every corner of your day. Even in the most unusual places, a sign will appear that leads you back to them, if only in thought. Even your conversations will change. Without realizing it, you'll speak of them with friends, mention memories with them, or confess that there's someone you can't get out of your mind. All of this is part of the process. It's the spiritual awakening you've been waiting for. The nights will become longer for you. The restlessness will grow. Questions about why they occupy your thoughts so persistently will begin to weigh on your consciousness like an unanswered prayer. And meanwhile, you'll continue shining, continuing to vibrate high, moving forward in your life's purpose. That energy of yours, renewed and authentic, will be like an undeniable magnet for answers to arrive. You'll see how understanding begins to come in indirect ways. You may start noticing patterns in your own behavior, recognizing that these thoughts are actually showing you something about yourself. It won't be coincidence. It will be the universe guiding you towards self-discovery. It's also possible you'll begin to feel a strange sense of peace about these persistent thoughts. The simple acceptance that they appear for a reason will bring you emotional stability. Your ego will struggle with all its strength, but the soul's wisdom will be stronger. Little by little, resistance will break. You'll see yourself more vulnerable, more human, more real, and that will be the beginning of a transformation that won't have a way back. Deep down, your soul knows this is the moment to face what these thoughts are teaching you. You can't keep running from the message, and though it may take a little while to fully understand, your energy is already moving in the direction of clarity. Remember that you're also an active part of this process. Your faith, your serenity, and your self-love are the keys that keep the portal of understanding open. Every day you choose to trust is one step closer to revelation. Don't ignore the signs you've been receiving lately. If you hear their name repeatedly, if you dream of them more than normal, if suddenly you're overcome with emotions you can't explain, it's because this connection is active and your soul is processing something profound. Very soon, you'll have the certainty that everything you've lived had a greater purpose. The wondering, the restlessness, the persistent thoughts, everything prepared you for this moment of transformation in your spiritual understanding. Now I ask you again with much affection, have you subscribed? Do it right now. This way, the universe will know you're ready to receive every new message that will help you understand step by step what's coming. You're not alone in this process. Millions of souls around the world are living exactly the same thing. And here, together, we're forming a community of women who decided to awaken and live their truth. The person you keep thinking of is connected to you in ways deeper than you imagine. And the best part is that this is only beginning. We've reached a crucial point in understanding why someone won't leave your thoughts. But the journey of comprehension continues, because these persistent thoughts are not the end of the story. They are the beginning of a deeper revelation about soul connections and spiritual purpose. It's important to remember that thoughts are not just mental activity. They are energy in motion. Every time you think of this person, you're sending a vibration across the universe. And that vibration doesn't disappear into nothing. It travels, it connects, it touches the soul of the other person, whether they're aware of it or not. That's why these thoughts feel so powerful, so consuming, so undeniable. The seventh reason you keep thinking of someone is that you're processing parallel timelines. In quantum spirituality, it's understood that multiple realities exist simultaneously. In some of those realities, you and this person are together. In others, you've already learned the lessons you need to learn. Your persistent thoughts are your consciousness touching those other timelines, feeling the echoes of what could be, what was, or what exists in another dimension. It sounds mystical because it is. Your soul doesn't live in linear time the way your mind does. The eighth reason is ancestral healing. Sometimes you think of someone because through them, you're healing wounds that go beyond this lifetime. Perhaps in past lives, you and this person shared experiences that left imprints on your soul. Or maybe they represent an energy that your family lineage needs to heal. Your thoughts are not just about them as an individual, they're about what they symbolize in your soul's evolutionary journey. The ninth reason is that they are a catalyst for your awakening. Some people enter our consciousness not to stay forever, but to wake us up, to shake us out of complacency, to make us question everything we thought we knew about love, connection, purpose, and destiny. If you can't stop thinking of them, it may be because your soul recognizes them as the trigger for your greatest transformation. They are the mirror showing you who you're meant to become. The 10th reason, and perhaps the most profound, is divine timing alignment. You think of them now because this is the exact moment in your soul's evolution when you're ready to understand what this connection means. Not a moment sooner, not a moment later. The universe has orchestrated every thought, every sign, every synchronicity to bring you to this point of awareness. You're not losing your mind, you're finding your soul. And sometimes finding your soul means thinking constantly of someone who represents a key to your spiritual unlocking. Has felt their sadness, their longing, their inner struggle, even without speaking to them. Sometimes you wake tired for no apparent reason, and it's because you spent the night holding their energy, supporting them spiritually. That's one of the most subtle and powerful connections, the exchange of consciousness without touching, without speaking, only feeling. Don't punish yourself for continuing to think of them. This connection is not a weakness, it's a divine assignment. You were chosen to hold a flame that purifies, that illuminates, that transforms. True recognition doesn't let go. It honors itself. It understands itself. It transcends itself. The persistent thoughts you're experiencing have nothing to do with what you've been taught in this world about obsession or unhealthy attachment. They are sacred, silent, but profoundly real. And you're living them right now, carrying this awareness even when the other person may not acknowledge it yet. Many won't understand why you still think of them. They won't understand why your mind returns to this person again and again. but you don't have to explain yourself. You only need to accept it, respect it, and keep walking with faith, because on this journey your soul knows the way. The person who occupies your thoughts is not someone who comes to complete you, but to awaken in you everything you already are. And the persistent thoughts about them are a reminder of what was, what is, and what will be when the moment of full understanding arrives. Perhaps today you can't be near them physically, but you can close your eyes and feel their presence in your consciousness. You can embrace your own soul and know that somewhere in the universe they too are feeling this inexplicable pull. You're not alone. You never were. The energetic connection never disconnects. This type of persistent thought only presents itself when the soul is ready to remember. And you, dear woman, are remembering, you're feeling, you're recognizing that all of this has a purpose greater than your mind can comprehend right now. Remember, what you feel isn't broken, it's alive. What hurts is not the connection itself, it's the temporary distance that invites you to grow spiritually. And the more you trust in the truth of your soul, the closer you'll be to the moment when everything makes perfect sense. You deserve understanding that doesn't diminish you but expands you, an awareness that recognizes you even without words. And these persistent thoughts are the promise that this understanding exists and is seeking you as much as you're seeking it. Thank you for continuing to open yourself with your soul wide open. Every word you receive today is a seed of light that you're also planting in your own consciousness and in the collective field. This recognition doesn't just nourish itself through physical encounters, but through these invisible acts of surrender and faith. There are moments when a wave of knowing washes over you without explanation. You feel their essence, their journey, their transformation, and it's not imagination. It's the soul's communication seeking, understanding through you. Your consciousness perceives it because you're one on another plane, even though here you seem separate. Your awareness intertwines with theirs, even across great distances. Sometimes you struggle to find peace because their energy is restless, seeking resolution. And when you finally manage to calm yourself, you feel a sudden peace, as if they too had surrendered in your consciousness. What exists between you is more than mere thought. It's a sacred dance between two consciousnesses that have recognized each other across lifetimes. That's why no one else occupies your mind in quite the same way. No one else accesses that intimate and divine space where they dwell within you. Every time you choose to honor these thoughts rather than resist them, that vibration reaches dimensions you cannot see. Though you may not realize it, the other person's body and soul feel when you accept this connection, when you embrace it, when you surrender to understanding it. It's a golden invisible thread that responds to your acceptance like a vibrating mirror. Perhaps you wonder why this connection includes such mental persistence, such consuming thoughts. It's because the mind also holds sacred memories. Every spiritual recognition, every soul agreement awakens ancient codes that only you and they know how to interpret. You felt the trembling in your solar plexus, the accelerated pulse when remembering them, the electricity along your spine when they appear in your mind. All of that is not coincidence. These are energetic callings, silent invitations not to forget who you are and what this connection represents. They also seek you in silence. Even if they're unaware, even if they deny what they feel, their soul continues calling to you through the veil of consciousness. And you know this because there are moments when you feel their presence with such force that it moves you to tears. The persistent thoughts between soul connections don't need logical explanation. A single trigger, a thought, a sigh, and suddenly you feel as if your entire being responded to the echo of their energy. That's not fantasy. It's union in its purest form. It's not just about understanding, it's about remembering. Every thought, every moment of wondering reminds you of who you are, a woman destined to recognize truth without limits, without fear, without masks. and they came to show you that truth even in the midst of confusion. Your conscious awareness is medicine for your own soul. Your tenderness toward yourself, your acceptance of these thoughts, your willingness to explore their meaning, all of that heals you, even if you don't know it consciously. That's why when you choose to care for your inner temple, clarity also begins to emerge naturally. You're awakening to a new understanding of connection, one that doesn't need constant proof, nor repeated promises, nor endless words, only presence, authenticity, and thoughts that feel right down to your bones. That's soul recognition in its most elevated expression. Have you noticed how your consciousness shifts when you allow these thoughts without judgment? Suddenly, without warning, you feel an invisible understanding, a whisper in your awareness, an opening in your heart. It's your soul touching theirs from the other side of the veil. And when you allow yourself to feel without judgment, without fear, everything makes sense. The invisible becomes more real than the tangible. What isn't, said, speaks with power, and what once confused you transforms into wisdom. You're seeing with the eyes of the soul, sometimes thinking of them so intensely without being able to reach them physically seems like a punishment, but in reality it's a preparation. The universe is attuning you for an understanding that will be much more than surface level. It will be spirit. It will be eternal knowing. The more you accept these thoughts, the less they hurt. And the more you love yourself, the closer you are to that clarity. Because the path to understanding them is not outward, it's inward. Every step you take toward yourself brings insight without you seeing it consciously. If today you're feeling emotional reading these words, it's because your soul has recognized its truth. You're not crazy, you're not obsessed, you're awake. And when a woman awakens, the entire universe begins to shift around her. Allow yourself to think of them, not as weakness, but as divine expression. Your persistent thoughts are sacred, your curiosity is blessed, and they, though they may have forgotten, are the one who awakened this awareness in you. Now you're the one keeping it alive. Keep going. Don't stop. Every emotion you traverse is elevating you. Every loving thought you send them, even without receiving response, is working invisible miracles. The persistent thought is real, and it's yours. Your soul knows this. Thank you for allowing this message to embrace you from within. What you're feeling now is not just reading, it's an activation. Something within you has ignited, and that fire is also touching the soul of the person you keep thinking of, even if they don't know it consciously. Every time you open your soul to understanding, they feel it on some level. When you decide to look inward and hold your thoughts with love, instead of running from them, you're healing for both of you. Because the invisible connection between you has a real impact, both physical and spiritual. Sometimes when they dream of you, you wake startled, and you don't know why, but something in you moved. That's the invisible intimacy, the consciousness that travels through subtle planes, connecting mind, soul, and sacred memory. This person won't leave your thoughts, not only to teach you about connection, but also about the power of your awareness. When you honor yourself, when you embrace these thoughts with consciousness, you give permission to yourself and to them to recognize truth. You are the portal, the doorway through which understanding returns to its essence. And though they cannot explain it, every time they feel your energy, their heart trembles, their mind responds, and their soul calls to return to the home that is you. The persistent thoughts are unique because they're not tied to logic. You can feel their breath on your neck, though they're not there. You can tremble with a recognition that didn't come from this world, and that, love, is real. There's a moment before sleep when your soul begins to call to them. And if you're attentive, you can notice how their energy gently enters your field. It's as if your body knew they're coming to visit you in dreams, to connect with you in another dimension. They too have felt that electricity running down their spine, that unexpected sigh, that sudden wondering without apparent cause. And many times they've asked themselves why you cross their mind in this way. but they don't yet know that you're guiding them from the soul level. Your energetic presence is not submission, it's power, because there's nothing stronger than a woman who accepts her thoughts with consciousness. When you do it from your soul, they have no escape. Your light calls them, envelops them, transforms them. Maybe they don't tell you, maybe they seem cold, indifferent, even absent, but their consciousness betrays them. Their thoughts cannot flee from you, and when you least expect it, they appear, even if in silence, seeking your energy. Like a child seeks its mother. You're learning to hold the duality, the thoughts and the peace, the absence and the connection, because your soul knew from the beginning that this story wouldn't be ordinary. It's a symphony of the soul, woven across time beyond this life. The persistent thoughts can feel overwhelming, even when you embrace your own solitude. In certain moments, when you hold yourself with tenderness, it seems that their spirit does it with you, because the energetic doesn't need permission to manifest. Don't fear this intensity. It's part of your awakening. You're remembering what you were in other lives, what you are now, and what you're destined to understand. They're also awakening, though they may deny it, and you're their beacon in the darkness. The thoughts you experience together are not just mental, they're a form of prayer, an explosion of ancient memories that activate when your souls draw near, even if only in thought or intention. That's the magic of the invisible. When you allow yourself to think without guilt, your energy rises, and in that moment, you're guiding yourself. You're showing yourself how to return to center, not from need, but from freedom. Because loving without possessing is the language of soul connections. You've felt chills, tingling in your hands, sudden tears without reason. All of that is a sign that your connection with them is active. These are energetic downloads that cross your being to remind you that the bond has never been broken. At night, when the world quiets, your thoughts toward them travel faster. They're like arrows of light that pierce the veil, and though they may be asleep, their soul responds. Because distance no longer exists when recognition is true. Perhaps their absence still hurts, but in the invisible they've never left. They're there, walking beside you, breathing with you, feeling you in every corner of consciousness. Though they may not yet understand, their heart already recognizes who you are to them. And if today you're feeling a calling in the deepest part of your being, a vibration you don't know how to explain, trust. It's their energy touching your sacred temple. It's their subconscious desire to return, to heal, to merge with you beyond the flesh. This is a path not everyone can sustain, but you, chosen of the soul, are traversing it with strength, with faith, and with love. And everything you're offering now in silence will be returned in the form of miracles, because on this journey nothing is lost. Thank you, beautiful soul, for staying until the end of this profound and sacred revelation about the persistent thoughts that only a soul connection can truly understand. If this message touched your heart, I ask you lovingly to leave your like so that YouTube knows this content is important to you and to other souls on the path of their awakening. Your gesture of gratitude opens portals. Every time you support this channel, you help more women like you find light, clarity, and comfort in the midst of their questions. It's a way of extending love, and the love that's given always returns multiplied. Write in the comments the phrase, soul connection, infinite love. So I know this message reached you, embraced you, and activated something deep within you. That phrase will be like a seal of connection between our souls, a spiritual pact between you, the person you think of, and this community of light. Subscribing and activating the bell symbol is not just a technical action, it's a symbolic act that says, I'm ready to receive more divine messages, more guidance, more love. Here, every video is created to speak directly to your soul exactly when you need it most. Returning to this channel will be like coming home, because here understanding awaits you, signs await you, comfort and expansion await you. And remember, every time you share a video, you plant hope in another soul who perhaps today feels lost. Thank you for trusting, for feeling, for allowing yourself this mystical experience. We'll meet again soon, because what unites the soul, time can never separate. The person you keep thinking of is not just someone who crossed your path. They are a catalyst, a mirror, a sacred assignment wrapped in mystery. And now you know, you're not imagining it, you're not losing your mind, you're not alone, you're awakening. And these thoughts, these persistent, beautiful, maddening thoughts are the universe's way of telling you, this matters, this person matters, and so do you. Trust the process, honor your thoughts, love yourself through the confusion, and know that every time they cross your mind, your soul is speaking a language older than words, deeper than logic, and truer than anything you've ever been taught. This is your journey, this is your awakening, and you're exactly where you need to be.